Hello everyone, this is me Garima Singh. Today I'll discuss theme 9, that is King and Chronicles. So here basically we discuss about Mughal courts with the daily routine and special festivities associated with Mughal court and power of emperor, then as well as woman role also, then Mughal policies and attitude toward religions. We discuss about distinctive feature of Mughal chronicles, Mughal court, as well as discuss about distinctive feature of Mughal nobility along with Mughal court. Then about emperor view on that, how emperor deal at that time. Then Mughal ideal of kingship. There are a lot more thing to discuss along with question solution. So that's about what I'm gonna tell you in this chapter. Basically about Mughal court, Mughal nobility, emperor of that time were the thing, then women role also as well as. So there's hell lot of thing to discuss in this chapter. As usual, let's move on to the question and we will discuss answer of it. So with the answer you get a gist and you get not a gist, you get an overall overview what this chapter it's all about, what has been in this chapter. You can get through the solution of questions also. Go through, just read at a glance first and then listen to my question solution discussion. That's really gonna help you out, because if you have been once to the chapter, it's easy to get the solution. Let's move on to. Oh, that's the reference things has been given. Oh, here's the question. Describe the process of manuscript production in the Mughal court. So, process of manuscript production in the Mughal court means a paper maker's responsibility was to prepare the follies of manuscript. Then skill writer, that is scripts or calligrapher, copied the text. Then gilders illuminated the pages of the manuscript. Miniature painter illustrated the scene from the text, and the book bender gathered the folio and gave it to the original shape of the book. That was the process of manuscript. Second is, in what ways would the daily routine and special festivities associated with the Mughal court have conveyed a sense of power of the emperor? So the daily routine and special festivity associated with Mughal court observe the in various ways, like by representing the status of the court, then in form of salutation of emperor, then meeting Jharoka Darshan, then meeting held by Sultan in Diwani Aam and Diwani Khas, as well as by honoring the Mansabdar on special occasion with special gift and Jagir. Next is S is the role played by a woman of the imperial household in Mughal Empire. So the term haram is used to describe the domestic world of the Mughal. This word is taken from Persian word haram, which means a sacred place. The Mughal household consisted of emperor wives and concubines, his near and distant relative like mother, step and foster mother, sister, daughter, daughter-in-law, aunt, etc., and female servant and slave. Polygamy was practiced widely in the Indian subcontinent, especially among the ruling groups, both for the Rajput clan as well as the Mughals. Marriage was a way of cementing political relationship and foreign alliance. The gift of territory was often accompanied by a gift of a daughter in marriage. Then this ensured a continuing hierarchical relationship between ruling groups. It was how the link of marriage and the relationship had that developed as a result that Mughal were able to form vast kinship network that linked them to important groups and helped to hold a vast empire together. Then next you can say the Mughal household distinction was maintained between wife who came from royal family, Begum and other wives Agas who were not of noble birth. Then the Begum married after receiving huge amount of cash available as dowry, that is meher, naturally received a higher status and greater attention from their husband than did Agas. The concubines occupy the lowest position in the hierarchy of female intimately related to royalty. Then the Aga and the Agacha could rise to the position of Begum depending on the husband's will and provided that he did not already have four wives. Love and motherhood played important role in elevating such women to the status of legally wedded wives. Apart from wives, the numerous male and female slaves populated the Mughal household. The tasks they performed varied from the most mundane to those requiring skill, tact, and intelligence. Slave much moved between the external and internal life household as guards, servant, and also agent of for women dabbling in commerce. The next X is the role played by women of the imperial household in the. Okay, that was the role what I have said played by women. Next is what were the concerns that shaped Mughal policy and attitude toward region outside subcontinent. So the Safavids and Kandahar, the political and diplomatic relation between the Mughal king and neighboring countries of Iran and basically he known control of frontier defined by Hindu Kush mountain that separated Afghanistan from region of Iran and Central Asia. A constant aim of Mughal policy was to ward off its potential danger by controlling strategic outposts, notably Kabul and Kandahar. The next is the Ottomans, the pilgrimage and trade. The relationship between Mughal first is that Kandahar, second subcontinent is Ottoman. The relationship between Mughal and the Ottoman ensured free movement for merchant and pilgrims in the territories under Ottoman control. Then this was especially true for Hijaz, that part of Ottoman Arabia, where the important pilgrim center of Mecca and Medina were located. The next is Jesuits at Mughal court. European received knowledge about India through account of Jesuit missionaries, traveler, merchant, and diplomats. After the discovery of sea route of India, the Portuguese merchants set up their trading network station in coastal region. The Portuguese was also interested in the spread of Christianity with the help of missionaries. Then the first Jesuit mission reached the Mughal court of Mughal Emperor Akbar at Fatehpur Sikri in 1580 and stayed here for about 2 years. The Jews spoke to Akbar about Christianity, debated its virtue with ulema. Then next is discuss the major feature of Mughal provincial administration. How did the center control the province? The head of the provincial administration was the governor, that is Subedar. He reported directly to the emperor. Each suburb was divided into Sarkar. The local administration was looked after at the level of Pargana sub-district by three semi-hereditary officers: the Kwango, that is keeper of revenue record, the Chaudhur in charge of revenue collection, and Qazi. Each department of administration maintained a large support staff of clerk, accountant, auditor, messenger, and other functionaries who were technically qualified officials functioning in accordance with the standardized rules and procedure and generating copious written order and records. Then next is the discuss with example the distinctive feature of Mughal chronicles. Chronicles commissioned by Mughal emperor are an important source for studying the empire and its court. They were written in order to project a vision of an enlightened kingdom to all those who came under its umbrella. The author of Mughal Chronicle focused on events related to the life of ruler, their family, the court and nobles, war and administrative system. These chronicles were written in Persian. This language flourished as a language of the court and of literary writings alongside North Indian languages, especially Hindi and its regional variants, as the Mughal were Chagatis, Turk by origin. Turkish was their mother tongue. Chronicle narrating the event of Mughal emperor regime as well. Events when scene or theme in book were to begin. Visual expression, the script left behind shapes on nearby pages, painting executed separately by artists were inserted to accompany what was described in words. Then, to what extent do you think the visual material presented in this chapter correspond with Abu Fazl description of taswir also. So, drawing the likeness of anything is called tasveer. His Majesty from his earliest youth has shown a great predilections for this art and give its every encouragement as he looks upon it as a means both of study and amusement. A very large number of painters set to work each week. Several supervisor and clerk of the imperial workshop submit before the emperor the work done by each artist, and his majesty gives a reward. Paintings serve not only to enhance the beauty of a book but were believed to possess a special power of communicating ideas about the kingdom and the power of king in ways that the written medium could not. The historian Abu Fazl described painting as a magical art. In his view, it had the power to make inanimate objects look as if they possessed a life. The next is, what were the distinctive feature of Mughal nobility? How was their relationship with the emperor shaped? So, recruitment rank of the nobility and relationship with emperor. Uh, in Mughal Chronicles, especially the Akbar Nama, have vanquished the vision of empire in which agency rests almost solely with the emperor, while the rest of the kingdom has been portrayed as, for example, if we look more closely at its available information, the history provides us about apparatus of Mughal state, we may be able to understand the ways in which imperial organization was dependent on several different institutes. The most important pillar of Mughal state was nobility. The nobility was recruited from diverse ethnic and religious groups, which ensured that no faction was large enough to challenge the authority of the state. Then, third point you can note, the officer corps of Mughal was described as a banquet of flower, that is Guldasta, held together by loyalty to the emperor. In Akbar imperial service, Turani and Iranian nobles were present from the earliest phase of carving out a political dominion. The holder of government offices was given the rank Mansab, comprising two numerical designations, that is Jat, which was an indicator of position in the imperial hierarchy, and the salary of the official Mansabdar, and Savar, which indicated the number of horsemen. Akbar, who designed the Mansab system, also established a spiritual relationship with select band of his nobility by treating them as his disciplined murid. For a member of nobility, imperial services was a way of acquiring power, wealth, and highest possible reputation. A person wishing to join the service pensioned through a noble who presented a taswish to the suite to the emperor. And if the applicant was found suitable, a mansab was granted to him. The Mir Bakshi, paymaster general, stood in open court on the right of the emperor and presented all the candidate for appointment or promotion. Then there were two other important ministers, the Divani, finance minister, and Sadr Usudur, minister of grant. The three ministers occasionally came together as an advisory body. Then Akbar, with these and other advisors, shaped the administrative, physical, and monetary institution of the empire. Nobles stationed at the court were a reserve force to be deputed to province or military campaign. Then they also had to share the responsibility for guarding the emperor and his household around the clock. The ninth is identify the element that went into the making of Mughal idol of kingship. According to Akbar Kot, Abu Fazl, Mughal kingship is the highest station in the hierarchy of object receiving light emanating from God. According to this idea, there was hierarchy in which divine light was transmitted to the king, who then became the source of spiritual guidance for his subject. Mughal chronicle present the empire as comprising many different ethnic and religious communities. Hindus, Jains, Zoroastrian, Muslim, as the source of all peace and stability, the emperor stood above all religious and ethnic groups. Then Abu Fazl described the idea of Sulekul, that is absolute peace, as the cornerstone of enlightened rule. In Sulekul, all religions, school of thought had a given freedom of expression, but on condition that they did not undermine the authority of the state or fight among themselves. Akbar abolished the tax on pilgrimage in 1563 and jizya in 1564, as two were based on religious discrimination. Then all Mughal emperor gave grant to support the building and maintenance of places of worship. However, it was during the reign of Aurangzeb, the jizya was reimposed on non-Muslim subjects. Then Abu Fazl defines sovereignty as a social contract. According to him, the emperor protects the core essence of subject, namely life, that is Jan, property, mal, honor, that is pride, and faith, and in return demand obedience and a share of resource from the people. Only sovereign were thought to be able to honor the contract with power to rule. So there's four things. I'm gonna repeat: life, property, honor, and faith. So that's the solution of this chapter. We are done with theme 9, King and Chronicle, and that's for today. I will say go through solution only when you have give a reading to this chapter, then go for solution, or otherwise you can go for solution then read it. That's not suitable. You have to read first and then watch my this question discussion, and really gonna help you out. That's for today. Thank you.